Seriously, Dexter, thank you so much for your time today. Lovely
Of
talking
course.
about Ghosted.
Thank you.
And first of all, apparently Cole doesn't have enough time to finish his book, which is probably something that a lot of writers can relate to. And I was wondering, as a filmmaker, how do you make sure you actually finish what you started?
Well, there's a phrase that I learned a few movies ago that I kind of live by, which is you never finish, you just run out of time. When you have a deadline, because I think as in the creative world, anything that you're creating is really part of the process is that you get obsessed. And when you get obsessed with something, you have to let it go at some point. When you've created it, you have to let it go. And so there's always that feeling of like, I'm not finished, but that you hit a deadline, people are paying for it. I'm sure you have it when you're writing something. You're like, I could keep working and working, but it's good to have those deadlines because otherwise you'd hold everything and you'd never let it go. So
you would only have like one movie then, right?
Exactly, and it'd be really long and very indulgent. So yeah, I live by that phrase. You never finish, you just run out of time, and I think it's kind of apt for Cole, and certainly what he's doing with his book. I understand that. So yeah, it's tricky. It's a very difficult situation to be in.
Right, right. And also there's like a line from Cole's father who goes like, it's time for his son to go, get out there and grab life by the horns.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was wondering if you do remember, when that moment was, for you, the moment you had realized that now is the time to get out there and tell, your stories through movies.
Well, I think after the first movie that I made, which was a small movie called Wild Bill, but I wrote the script with a friend, and I'd never directed a movie before. I directed theatre and workshops, but I gave the script to a producer, and she said, "Oh, and you're going to direct the movie?" I was trying to raise the money, and I said, "Yeah." And that was just a moment of decision that I took at that point, and that was the first movie I directed. But that was very much a grabbing life by the horns moment. I'd been an actor for many, many years before that, 40 years. And I suddenly realised I had a new opportunity to become a director, and that changed my life completely. So it can happen at any stage, I think. It can happen any time in your life, but that's one point in my own life when it was very important and pivotal.
All right, awesome. And also, what about, because the agency gave Sadie like a purpose, as she says in the movie.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you feel like, in a similar way when it comes down to you being a filmmaker.
Yeah, I think that once I made that first film, I kind of discovered something that I really felt very alive and kind of more comfortable with, even than being more so than being an actor. And I understood why. I'd been an actor for 40 years. I've been on many, many film sets and worked with many, many great directors and many bad directors. So I had all this experience. But when I got onto directing, I think I'd found my purpose more than, because I've been acting since I was 6 years old.
Wow.
So I'd had a lot of experience and with great people. But I think when I was 45, really, when I directed my first film, that was when everything changed for me personally. Mm-hmm. And I've become more motivated ever since because my opportunities have got bigger and bigger. I'm very lucky in that respect.
Right. Dexter, my last question would be like, because cactus behavior is like very important in the movie.
Yes.
And it was only because as a filmmaker, you work on a movie with hundreds of different people and sometimes you don't get to see them ever again. And I was wondering if you would say that cactus behavior can be quite helpful at times in this business.
I suppose so, yeah. I mean, it's tricky. I mean, I like to remember everyone. I do love everyone who contributes to the whole movie because movie making is a collaborative experience. It really is. And I want everyone to be proud and feel a part of it. And I want to make the film, everyone wants to make the film good. Everyone goes and wants to make a film well. So I don't know if, I don't want to walk around and remove myself from everyone. I really like knowing as many people as I can. But then the terrible thing is you go away and you see people out of context and I have a very bad memory. So it can get a little awkward. But no, people are always very generous and always want the best. So yeah, cactus behaviour is good if you're in a relationship at the beginning. It's like, keep yourself,
right.
independent, but still be very beautiful to look at.
Exactly right. Seriously, Dex, I want to thank you so much for your time today. All the best for Ghosted, and hopefully soon again.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you.